Now, I've already talked about this topic in the past, but I kind of want to double down on it, and I want to talk about some different points that I fully believe that would help a young man or a individual that is trying to improve their social skills or improve their confidence around people around them. The title of this video is "You're Not an Introvert, You Just Can't Be Bothered." And I came across this video title or this idea or this topic because conversating with a few different people in my life, at my work, outside of work, everything like that, and I've had conversations. There was this time I was talking to this guy, and they're an awesome person, everything like that, and I appreciate the person. But we had a conversation, and I was talking about the video title or the video topic that I talked about a few videos ago anyway, when I said that introverts aren't a real thing. And then tying to that belief, the reason why I say this is because I don't think believing in the title of a introvert is beneficial for a young person. What I mean by this is what I would much rather promote is extrovertedness. If I was to pick a side, I would pick extrovertedness. And then I'm going to explain further along at the end of the video, ideally, you're going to want to do both. You're going to want to explain that you're going to want to be able to adapt to both being introverted and focusing on yourself, and then also extroverted and being able to be in a social flow around with a group of people, and to want, people are going to want to listen to you when you talk and all that sort of stuff, being confident with what you say, how you say things, everything. So that sort of thing later on. But I fully believe if you are a person that believes they are introverted, I need you to ask this one question here. If you believe you are introverted, does this belief help you? Does it benefit you? Okay. And now let's say there's a small part in you, in your character, in your soul, that really wants to be more confident than they are at the moment. That wants to be more charismatic than they are at the moment. There's like a small part of you, if I'm talking to someone, an individual that believes that they are introverted as a character and that's just who they are, and they just, that's just what it is there a small part of you that would desire to be just a little bit more confident, a little bit more charismatic, a little bit more better with people? If there is a small area, and hopefully there is, because I feel it's very important, and I believe it's very important for someone to have a desire to socialize, because it's more beneficial as in opening doors for them, meeting, building relationships, creating bonds, creating a good brotherhood with people, building, meeting your future wife and building a great relationship with them, whatever the case may be in your situation. Your ability to, not necessarily to the extreme of being introverted and being so like out there. There's your own personality and your own twist when it comes to meeting and being social, but in a way where you're able to understand people, you're able to be confident in yourself and know how you say things and everything like that. So the concept that I want to add on to this is, if you have anything in your life, and not even just with this topic of introverted and extrovertedness, if you have a certain belief, whether it can come across as you just being realistic, you just telling the truth, you being truthful, if when it comes to your own worldview and your own life and everything, does this truth actually benefit you? Because then we're coming on to a whole bunch of other discussions when it comes to, why do people believe in God? Why do people believe in this? Why do people believe in this religion? Whether we know for a fact that there is a God or not, whether we know for a fact there is a heaven and hell afterlife, whether we know for a fact that these certain things are real, factual things, the different story is, does it actually benefit you and point you in a more positive trajectory than if you were to not think that way? If you are someone that doesn't believe in God, that doesn't believe believes that they are introverted, that believes that they are only capable of what they're doing at the moment, if you're someone that believes that blah blah blah, whatever you believe, the question is, does it actually help you in any kind of way? Because ideally, what our beliefs hold, whether they are true, factual, statistical, science, whatever the hell you want to look at it, all of these things, do they actually benefit you? Do they actually help you? Does it point you in a better direction than it did before? If that is the case, believe whatever you want to believe. If that helps you, if believing that you are introverted helps you, then so be it. That's cool. If you don't, if and points you in a positive trajectory, because ideally you want to be aiming up, you want to be progressing and taking steps forward towards something bigger than yourself, even if it is just slightly bigger than yourself, any of those things. The question is, does your belief help you to point you in a better and a more positive trajectory? So the full conclusion to this video is, ideally as a whole, you do want to be introverted and extroverted, both. You want to be able to be introverted and focus on yourself and zone out and block out all the external noise, all the external people, needing to be able to focus on yourself and understand yourself is a very, very important tool and crucial for anybody's growth in any endeavor. So being able to focus on yourself and be introverted and be, focusing into yourself is very, very important. Okay, so being able to know when that time comes, when you're focusing on a school project, when you're focusing on a work project, when you're focusing on a side hustle, be able to sit down, zone in, and do the deep work. That's very, very important. Okay, so that's when your introvertedness comes in. That's when your lack of wanting or desire to wanting to socialize with other people in other groups and worrying about what other people are doing and everything like that. That's when that introvertedness can become very, very beneficial. So 100%, I agree. There are times when introvertedness needs to be used as a tool and an advantage for whatever endeavor you want to go in and pursue. The other side of that is being able to adapt and then switch on those social skills, switch on the charisma, that confidence, that way that people want to listen to you because you have something to say. Like, what do you believe? What's something that you believe in that you're not afraid to say to other people, or asking, or you're not afraid to ask certain questions because you're confident in what you're saying. You know that worst comes to worst, they can just say they're uncomfortable with the question, you can move on, it's not a big deal. So ideally, the full concept of introverted and extroverted, I do believe that believing in extrovertedness is way more beneficial than believing in introvertedness for your own identity. But if we were going to actually come to a whole conclusion, doing both is beneficial. Being able to adapt to different situations and be able to use these both as tools to be able to get the best results that you can is ideally the best case scenario. So yeah, well, to give you some actionable steps to help you with the social skills, if you believe you are introverted as an individual and you think it's part of your identity, some ideas that I have that could help you with your introvertedness is, first, I need you to take out the belief, because I need you to now if you take away the belief that you are introvertedness and this is only for your benefit, then it gives you the ability to then know that the potential is there to be able to progress in the area of social skills. If you are going to put a lid and a cap over what you're capable of doing when it comes to socializing, when it comes to your confidence, when it comes to your charisma, if you put a cap and a lid over top of that, and that's up to you, that's completely up to you. If you think that is beneficial to you, then you may think like that. I've got nothing against that. If you truly believe in your whole heart that this belief is beneficial and pointing you in a better trajectory, then I support that 100%. But if the case is that you think it's kind of putting you in a box, that it's actually kind of making you more insecure, that it's actually making your anxiety worse, whatever the case may be, then try your best to reframe your perspective, to reframe your confidence in the fact that, no, you can be extroverted. No, you can socialize. You can be confident. You need the evidence, basically and technically. And I think I've talked about this in another video in the past, is that confidence is basically the best way to improve your confidence is to stack up proof, basically. And even in small instances, if you lack confidence in this area here, stack up little wins, little bits of proof that will then prove to your subconscious and even your conscious that, look, I know I may feel anxiety or feel a little bit less confident, but I've got proof that I was able to talk to the shopkeeper. I've got proof that I was able to ask a question this random person here, or I was able to say hi and smile at this person here. You need to find a way, the easiest way to stack up proof, and do that throughout a long duration of time. So then eventually, when you do feel the lack of confidence, when you do feel the lack of anything, you have undeniable proof. No, this is who I am. This is who I am. And that belief and that proof is where it starts to brew, and that just follows after that. How you socialize with people after your belief system has changed, your perspectives have changed, you've stacked up some proof to be like, no, I can say hi to people, I can smile at this person, give this person a compliment, ask this person a question, whatever that is. Once you've got that proof, then you play the game of how to go about certain environmental situations, understanding, what certain people want to be talked to and what certain people don't want to be talked to, and that's okay. So you kind of just like play the game of like, okay, I'm gonna ask, and the best way that I've always talked about is you either practice your opening statements, which is either a question or a compliment. Those are the best ways to start conversations. You ask a question, you say a compliment to the person, you know something they're wearing, something they're reading, whatever, give them a compliment, ask them a question. Hey, where'd you get that jacket from? It's a cool color, it suits you, blah blah blah. And then whatever rolls after that is part of your social flow and practicing and everything like that. And don't worry, sometimes you're gonna mess up, sometimes it's not gonna be a perfect conversation, but in due time you will get better and more confident, and you will stack up a little bit of proof that, hey, I can do it because this, and it's all a numbers game. So just keep practicing it, keep practicing the opening lines, and eventually you'll become more confident, more charismatic, and a more social person.